Hi, this is Katie from the Hopewell Branch Library. This is a companion video to My Lord Bag of Rice, the story video that has also been posted. So I'm going to present two different crafts to you today. The first is a tinfoil dragon that you can make. And the second is two different versions of a dragon light box. And I want to say right now that in the video, I say that you have to use an Xacto knife for both versions of the light box. But this version of the light box, which I'll be showing you how to make, if you're using a shoebox or a thinner gift box, you do not need to use an Xacto knife to cut out the top of the box here. You can also use a scissor if it's, thin enough cardboard for you to do that. So this version can be done without adult supervision if your box is thin enough to be cut with scissors. So I just wanted to let you know about that. So enjoy the video. Okay, so this is the Tinfoil Dragon. I'm going to hold him up so you can see him. He or she is very nice and shiny. And when I was thinking of dragon crafts to make, I thought about light and heat and shine. And so that's why I came up with two crafts that really were bright. So here it is. So what you're going to need for the Tinfoil Dragon is you're going to need to print out one of the dragon silhouettes that I've posted for you. Now for this one, you are going to have to cut around the shape. So you're going to want to print out one of the simpler designs. I personally think that this one is really cool, and it's the one with the smooth lines, as you can see. So that makes it easier to cut out. So you're going to print that out on just a piece of office paper, and then you're going to glue it to a sheet of cardboard. I used a cereal box. You could also use the back of a pad of paper or something. So glue the dragon shape onto one side of the cardboard so that you can see it, and then glue to the other side of the cardboard a sheet of tinfoil, shiny side out. And when you glue this, you need to get a really even, thin line of glue. So I used a paintbrush to spread it on both sides. So when you first do it, it's going to be a little bit damp for a while, and I really recommend letting it dry as much as possible before cutting. I didn't do that, and it's just easier to tear the tinfoil when you do that. It works best if everything is as dry as possible. So once it's dry, you just cut around it, and the edges of it might be a little bit ragged. There might be a little bit of the cardboard showing through. Don't worry about that too much. Also, if you get a really big piece of the tinfoil come off, you can take a teeny sort of band-aid of tinfoil and put it around and just shape the tinfoil around the edge. I had to do that in a couple of places. So once it's cut out, you should have a perfect silver dragon, or black on one side, tinfoil on the other, and then you can color it. I swear by Sharpies, but you can use any permanent marker on the tinfoil, and it's just going to be really colorful and shiny. So the pattern that I did was just kind of a series of sort of scale-like shapes, and I used a limited palette of red and orange and yellow. And then I just put on a little dotted eye that I thought was cute. So you can put a little hole in it and hang it. It can sort of dance around. Or, you know, put it on the shelf, do whatever you like with it. So this is the Tinfoil Dragon. This is the Dragon lightbox craft. So there are two different versions of this. This is the first version, and the second version doesn't look like much in the light, but here it is. So both of these crafts need an adult's help because there is an Xacto knife involved. So you're definitely going to need supervision, if not an adult, to do part of this for you. So I did two versions of this because they look a little bit different, and also because one is significantly easier than the other. This is the harder one. So what you're going to need is a shoebox, a gift box. This is like a photo storage box, I think. And if it's not already black or white, you can paint it black or white. And you also are going to need a set of lights. It's a very short little light set with a battery pack. And this one that I got seems to have a timer function on it, which is really handy because you can turn it on and it'll turn itself off after a little while, but any kind will do. So the first thing that you do is print out a dragon shape. And for this first version, you definitely want one of the simpler shapes, either this one or this guy right here with the simpler curves on it. So you print it out and then you glue it to the inside of the box. Obviously with the shape facing you so that you can see it. And then you are going to use an Xacto, or an adult is going to use an Xacto knife to cut all around this shape. It's a little bit painstaking and difficult, but if you like the way this looks, it could be worth it. So you cut that hole, and then you are going to take a piece of plain tracing paper, which you can get at the craft store. It looks like this when it's uncolored. And you're going to color that in with, I used permanent markers, but I think that regular markers would work. And you can really make any design you want. I made kind of a chevron pattern, and I chose a limited palette of greens and blues. You can really do anything that you want with it that you think is colorful and neat looking. So color that and then tape or glue that to the inside of the box as well. The way that I did it, I made the more colorful side facing the inside of the box so that it was a little bit muted looking if it wasn't lit up. That was just my preference. You can do it however you like. I think, in fact, if you did it with the colorful side facing out, it would be cooler to look at when it was not lit up. So then, once you've got your dragon shape cut out and your colorful tracing paper glued to the inside, you're going to take the bottom of the box, and the first thing you're going to do is find a place in one corner to tape the battery pack. And so there are actually two ways to do this. I mean, you can just put the battery pack in here and operate it by taking the top off of the box and turning it on. That's really simple. I decided to tape down the battery pack and cut a little hole in the side of the box where the switch is facing out so that you don't have to open it in order to turn it on. And I went around the circle, I think, looks like only once actually. I went around this circle with the lights and taped them down so that they'd be relatively even. And once you do that, it's done. And you can put it on a shelf, you can even hang it from the wall, and let me see if it looks like anything when I light it up. You can sort of see something. But I'm going to put in somewhere in the video what these look like when they're lit up. So that's the first harder version of the Dragon Lightbox. The simpler version is this guy. So again, I'm going to light it up and see if you can see anything. Really can't see anything. So the way that I did this one is, again, print out a dragon shape. And because you don't have to cut around the dragon for this craft, I picked the really intricate dragon shape. And to do this one, I cut around the top of the box and basically cut out the entire top of the box, but I left a lip of about 1/4 of an inch all around the border. And then you take your printed out picture and tape it around almost as if you were wrapping a gift, sort of. Glue down the paper with the dragon facing in, so that I think that's kind of cool because it sort of doesn't really look like anything until you light it up. It's sort of like a magic trick. And then you do the same thing with your sheet of tracing paper. For this one, I chose this sort of the same type of chevron, but a red and orange and yellow palette. And it doesn't even look like I glued it or pasted it. I just kind of placed it inside the lid of the box. And then I did the same thing with this one. I taped down the battery pack. I cut a hole in the back of this one for the switch and taped the lights around. And then we're all done. So now I will put in what these guys look like in the dark or low light. And I think they're pretty cool. What you'll see in the video is that the blue and green dragon looks kind of washed out in the video, but it doesn't look that way in real life. All the colors really do pop out. So yeah, you can take a look at that, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Hi, so here's what the light boxes look like in low light. Here is the first one. You can get a good look at it. And here is, whoops, here's the second one. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I hope you have fun making your own shiny light up dragons this summer. We miss you guys so much at the library, and we hope that we get to see you there really soon. Thanks.